All right, welcome back to Jim's Guitar Garage. In this video, we're going to be covering this neck for the Black Limba Strat. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Please remember to like and subscribe. I appreciate all you guys watching. Hello, thank you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start putting these back in. So one of the tips I gave before is as you take these off, and it really matters. Yeah, there you go. You guys should be able to see that. Really matters if you've got staggered ones and you don't want to sit there and try and read the labels on them, because they're not very easy to read, especially the Fender ones. So all we're going to do is take, so we mentioned this in the other video, how we do not want to put these in too tight. So what I recommend doing is go ahead, place that there, kind of hold on to it, drop your washer in, put this on just enough to hold it, flip it over, go ahead and take your screw. I guess we can take these gloves off, we're not using chemicals or anything anymore. We'll take these off. Go ahead, and one of the things I always do too, especially when working on guitars, is you know, I see a lot of guys are screwing stuff and unscrewing stuff like this. I highly recommend you place your finger down here to kind of hold that tip in place. You don't want it slipping off and scratching something. So we'll try not to do that today since everybody's watching. And what I do too is I start it and I actually back it off. Move this a little closer, you guys can get a better view. So I go ahead and I back it off until I feel it click into place, and then I know it's in the same threads that it was in before. And obviously on wood it's not as, you know, distinct of a click. Just tighten that up just enough where it's not moving, and then go ahead, take your handy dandy ESP tool here, and then all you do is take this and just tighten it. And it, like I said, it doesn't have to be tight. Just as soon as it's snug, you just stop, and that's it. So we're going to continue on with that. We'll put the, you know, the Floyd Rose locking nut in, and then we will come back. All right, welcome back to the channel. So we are back on the neck for the Black Limba Strat. So just to do a quick recap, we got this in. We had a nice dent in this fretboard right here. We fixed that. The dent is almost gone. It's, I mean, if you didn't know it was there, you would never see it. We took care of the frets. We had a couple high frets on here. We took care of those. Recrowned them. Polished them up. Did all that. We took care of the fret ends. We polished that. We put a nice little round over on the edge over here to make it, you know, feel like a nice worn-in fretboard. We originally had, let me flip this over here. We originally had this finish, this reddish finish on this Warmoth neck. So we stripped that all off because it was a horrible match with the body. It didn't look that bad by itself, but once you put it next to the body. We just finished putting the tuning keys on here. So we put them all on, finger tight, tighten them up with this very slightly afterward, just enough to make it snug. We just put the bar here, which I don't know, for me, I just don't understand what the sense of that is when you've already got to go through the locking nut. I guess when you release this so they don't pop up or something. But anyways, these are on. But I also wanted to give you guys another tip, which I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen. But I take a metal straight edge. You can use a 6-inch ruler too. I just happen to have this one a little bit closer. So as you're installing them, and as I reinstall these, I just place this next to it and then kind of check it and make sure that they're basically in line with each other, nice and straight line. They're not all crooked. And then if you find any that are loose, or sorry, not that are misaligned, we've got one slightly here. It's one of these two. So we're going to loosen those up. So we'll just go through that. So all I'm going to do is loosen this up a little bit. It doesn't have to be, you know, absolutely perfect, but you definitely don't want one, you know, all cranked off to the side. It's gonna look funny, and then it's gonna, at least for me, I know it would bother me, and drive me nuts looking at it, knowing that it's off. So we're just gonna loosen these two up, give us a little bit of play. Okay, so we've got a little bit of play in both of these. And remember, keep your hand near the end of this so you don't slip off and scratch it and ruin all this nice work that you did. So we're just going to take this, push it up against them. Okay, in that position, there's no rocking. So we're just going to hold these here, tighten these up. And they were, you know, they were only slightly off. You guys might, I don't even know if you guys could see it on camera. Okay, now there's no rocking at all between all of them. And this metal thing was flush against all of them. So those are nice and straight. So we're just going to come back over here. You can either use, in this case, these are 10 millimeters. So you can use it, you know, standard tool like this. Just put it on. And like I said, don't crank it on too tight. Just snug. So we'll just snug one with this, and then we'll use the other tool. And for those of you who didn't see the other videos, this tool has a serrated edge. I hope you guys can make that out. Hopefully this thing will focus on it. Has a serrated edge on one side. So as you're looking at it from here, this is serrated, this is serrated, so that grips it. So you just, you know, flip it over depending on. So we're tightening it. So we're going to use this side that has a serrated edge here. We just come over here to this one. You just push it up against it. Have the serrated edge grab the corner of the nut here. And just tighten it. And then when it's snug, that is it. You're done. Simple as that. These things are a great thing to have. I keep this in my box because I don't want to carry, in my gig bag. So I keep this in my gig bag so I don't have to bring a whole bunch of tools with me. And it also has on it right here, has a little mounting hole. So you can, you know, if you have a pegboard or something like that, you can just hang it on a peg or on a nail or whatever. All right, so tuning keys are on, bar is on, locking nut is on. We wax this thing up a few more times. This thing is ready to go. So for the next installment, we are going to be back on the body. So as you can see right now, this is a much better match for this. And it's going to look nice even. Let's just mount this in here. You guys can kind of take a look even from the looking at this guitar from the, you know, the back side of the guitar. It's going to look nice. It's not going to have that red thing anymore. So we want to make sure that, yeah, you can see right here in the neck pocket. I hope you guys can make that out really good. You know, you've got the two colors here, but they're not, you know, they don't look funny next to each other. Now we've got a little bit of red that we can see over here in this corner. I got to check and see if that's going to be covered up with the pick guard. If not, I'm going to sand that down a little bit and finish just this. Sorry, that was out of the camera view. Just this very corner right here. Matter of fact, we can check it right now with a pick guard. Taken care of. Because we want to make sure that this thing, you know, does not have any of that red showing. And I don't believe this is going to cover it up, so I'm probably going to have to sand that area a little bit. Get the rest of that red off, but this is the kind of pick guard that's going to go on. So that is actually, if you guys can see that, if the pick guard he gets is the same shape as this one and goes in this position, you can see right there, it totally covers it up. Whether it's this way, yeah, even as far as being way off over here like this, where you can actually see the control cavity. So that's going to be covered up by the pick guard. So I'm not gonna strip that off anymore. You won't be able to see anything else. So depending on what pick guard he chooses, we're looking at getting a clear pick guard with a little extra feature. So we'll go over that when we get it, and then should be a nice surprise as long as this pick guard company can do it. And we'll even do a shout out to the pick guard company that actually does this. We've contacted several, my brother has, and we've had no luck trying to get what we're looking for, because we really don't want to cover up, you know, most of this body. So we're looking for something that's going to be, you know, either clear or opaque. So as you can see right now how beautiful it looks, and then you cover it up with this, it still looks nice, but once you put the bridge in, the bridge is going to cover all this up, and then all you've got left is pretty much this back here and a little bit of, you know, the green and a little bit of streaking up here, but all this is going to be covered up from here over. So we're going to figure out a way to cover up these you know, little channels in the pickup cavity, and we'll show you a trick on that once we get the pick guard. I'm going to try a few things and I'll record it, and then we'll see which one seems to work best, and then we will go from there. All right, mahalo. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it a lot. Till next time when we put the bridge in. So we'll walk you through that.